10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. EG's turn to ban.
I should have seen that one coming.
OG's turn to ban.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. It's time for the final day. Mark on a
10 seconds remaining.
lower bracket for the
5 seconds remaining.
Valiant. One remaining.
EG's turn to
be
ban.
reckoned with. Kyle guy for beyond by Ben and Thun. Aggressive, guiding their way.
OG's turn
Bracket,
to
but
pick.
they are in a both these teams.
10 seconds remaining.
Elder Titan.
EG's turn to pick.
But number, I know.
10
How not
seconds
today?
remaining.
Like I would. Everyone. The funny thing is, I went to bed early, but
5 seconds remaining.
Naga game. Naga their way.
Bad Rider!
Talking about him.
EG's turn to pick.
Shadow Demon.
We'll hop into it.
OG's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
It's not a player.
I've seen some of these casters' faces.
Yeah,
I just
'cause
have
they don't
never.
speak English.
I never bothered to try to.
Have you ever tried speaking English, any of them?
I would like do the head nod and go hello. They get what that means, I'm sure. I'm probably offending him every time. But Jack will be our end representative, but for. Get a way to stop the last. Oh.
Faceless Void.
EG's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
What? Cord, come back. Up there. For bottom of the tool.
OG OG's
like
turn
away
to
from
ban.
instead some other matter. Now a lot behind. Their lane weak. The Elder
10
Titan
seconds
roam is.
remaining.
We've seen it like okay in the mid lane, but it's secure safe lane. Teams are pretty
EG's
good at
turn
zoning
to
out
ban.
void. They don't run safe. I don't.
OG.
I don't ever think about it. Avoid, yeah, maybe a time or two, but definitely not a thing. It's not like I guess the only
10
team that really did a
seconds
lot is
remaining.
but I think like, if you can only run it in one
5
lane, it's
seconds
sometimes not worth
remaining.
picking in so early just because you know exactly how to handle it. You can
Reserve
devote
time.
just enough resources. You don't have to overcommit to
Yeah.
that lane. You'll see some teams like draft very strong safe lane support just in case there's aggression thrown in their safe lane. They could also do perhaps.
We can also see more of this Naga coming. Whether it's support or core, than song. Pull out if necessary in this. Though, Xiamen already said that they are trying to set up a good lane for Sunil. That'd be pretty important for EG. We saw like in one of their big wins earlier was on the back of Sunil.
They don't really have it.
OG's turn to ban.
Mid lane it's they're like, fight, it's gotta go too.
Targeting those. Not
10 seconds remaining.
It's like still just
5 seconds
popular
remaining.
notes grab. That's also on a grab.
Reserve
Doesn't really
time.
pair too well with the phase.
agreed. The both those other heroes that they banned out are more prominent. Each like a lot of bursts.
EG's turn
Ban
to
here.
Naga
OG or Mika's Devil.
OG's turn to pick.
it is side Naga. It may or may not be a support and or Naga. You know, Shadow Demon doesn't.
Morphling.
Very selfless one.
EG's turn
Hold
to
and
pick.
do like the AoE 4 position. I don't know. Zai or Crit would play a support Naga if they were to play.
Doesn't matter. They can run. They can run it purely as a song
10
user
seconds
counter
remaining.
ultimate. So saw Crit do at
5
PI.
seconds remaining.
4, or you could do it because they've kind of some of the
Reserve time.
5 on them, and that's you could run.
Yeah, definitely been having a lot of fun with the supports changing because look at Zai, look at Crit, like neither of them like a High or a Puppy or a PP, like the total ward guy. Like they always mention
Reserve
Anti-mage.
time. OG's turn to pick.
AM coming out now. I can't help but feel more like it. That'd be pretty. They show a Naga. OG quickly responded with the Morphling. Not sure if that was to, a
10
counterplay to the
seconds
Naga, and EG just go right into the AMs. This is actually what we're
5 seconds remaining.
the AM game.
They know their lanes. It's void. Off lane, morphling is not that. Also, I like the morphling pick Bat Rider a lot more than I saw Slard pick the amount versus the Rider, and yeah, you'll time stacks, you can break lasso. Morphling I think is a lot better because it doesn't actually require you to do anything. Like a good Bat Rider
10
will get the
seconds
lasso off
remaining.
pop anything. The morphling you can morph during the lasso, no problem.
5 seconds
He
remaining.
also I think
Lion.
EG's turn to ban.
OG, going for the land next. Mostly, nowadays, a very secure, safe lane or to deal with onslaught. Certainly gonna
10 seconds remaining.
in August.
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Oh, my own mute. Sorry about that. I was getting reports that one of us, maybe me, was coming into like one of the ears. I noticed one of the knobs over on that mixer panel over there wasn't quite straight, so I adjusted that. Hope that's fixed. Shouts to Lyric. Hopefully, audio stuff's fixed. I don't know why it was touched at all between last night and now.
5
Nonetheless,
seconds remaining.
you were mentioning that a lot of the offers a lot of the control, which makes them you don't want to put everything on an L Titan stun. You don't want to put everything on your precious yeah lines there to make sure he gets. Really, someone as slippery as
They need some aggressive. More can carry. Always up.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. You know, we're here last night. We're casting. Everything's going great, working perfectly. People are in here in the office since then, and suddenly it's all different. Apparently, like, you know, I'm coming one ear. Let me go take another quick. Sorry to ditch.
Fuck. Fuck's back. I don't know your camera. You go solve the problem. Yes. First, I want to see.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Playing against draft a strong like
30 seconds to battle. The battle begins.
My waters rise.
Sure that Super Male has a good time in the early game. Although versus a Morphling, me, not too big of a deal. He has more, what, 33 agility, so 64 base damage versus a 64 dead even. Although Puck has the edge because he has more range, he can harass a little bit easier. Okay,
Sorry
Dakota's
about-
back with the camera.
Hi, sorry Ben. Sorry guys, I'm sure the audio is still not fixed. We have Rob coming in as tech and he will scope things out. Tried my best to look it over and I did not see anything off from my, so you just have to stick it out as it is and we'll have it fixed hopefully within the game's time. But we'll get into it right now. Luckily didn't miss any first blood it looks like. Just everyone getting resided into their lanes and do those early pokes and early jabs to kind of assert dominance.
Yeah, this early game's a lot different from EG. His eyes have been just...
Oh, it's fixed! It's fixed somehow, Ben!
great.
Everyone's saying it's fixed, it's fixed!
Did
I
you do
don't know,
something?
I don't know. I don't think so, but somehow it fixed itself. But we'll just take it. We'll take it. Sorry, as you were.
I was looking at the early game. The early game's a lot different. Zai has still a little bit in the off lane, but they haven't really given that much to Universe in this tournament thus far. And now he seems committed to at least getting him level 2 so that he can do stuff. I think the games that they lost, he had a really just terrible time in the off lane, and they do leave him like alone perhaps too often, and that's perhaps why they were struggling so much in their series yesterday. It's just that he wasn't able to get enough and focusing far too much on Sumail and not enough on the Universe.
I mean, Universe had always been like that rock for EG. I guess, I don't know if it was a stigma or not, that we're just like, oh, it's Universe. He'll find his way in his lane. He knows what he's doing, but yeah. And meta maybe now with a bit more focus on our time for the offlaners, maybe he just needs a little bit of extra loving from his comrades here, as we see fellow offlaner S4 do get zoned back by a bit. Still lots of attention towards the mid lanes. Fly's rummaging about with his line. He'll be able to snipe up and take down that top rune ward there from EG. With Sumail and company a bit in the dark.
S4 is really trying to get some levels out of mana. Still only level 1 at this point, and just getting tons of poisons thrown by Crit. Crit is out of clarities though, so all he has to do is survive, maybe pick up one more salve, and he should be okay for some time to come. Zai is being a bully.
Really is. Just Riptides and Illusion pokes, anything possible so that Sumail can do his thing and his CS work in the lane, so that he'll probably stride towards a decently timed level 6, but while you are sharing that XP, it can hinder the timings a little bit. No tail in Universe, obviously. Two offlaners, it feels like, almost, between the Faceless Boy and Batrider going toe-to-toe, but very versed with the heroes, and obviously no tail. Needs him reaching up to 3 stacks, needs to pull off all the way and away, and just kind of reset. Pretty good for Universe now. He's at 12 and 2 CS.
X in mid.
And that's the first blood. Grab onto the puck. So what happened? Just ran in, insta-hex. Ana was able to burst it down the back of a waveform, I assume.
He was trading his with a Morphling. He tried to orb away, but he hexed at the last second so that he couldn't jaunt. And then he got caught out without his orb.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Well then, that is going to be unfortunate for Sumail, as he'll have to get the TP and head right to the mid lane. All that attention that Zai was helping out with now.
Yeah, it's a very similar situation to yesterday where the bottle was like coming and he just needed like 5 more seconds maybe, and he just really wanted a CS and didn't want to back up and wait for his bottle, give any quarter in the lane, and ended up giving a kill.
And now we're going to be going into our first Nightfall here. The 4-minute runes do come out. Bit of a handoff between both supports on each side, and Zai and Fly. Now I'll creep that top rune here, but alright, we got an extra hand on the deck. Crit showing up to play. He's smoked. And it looks like EG are looking for a little bit of redemption from the Sumail takedown just previous.
He's full mana though. I don't really know how they're going to do this. It's only a level 1 silence right now, but if he waves aggressively or defensively...
He was a bit too far in, and his wave out doesn't get him too far away. And they're going to lead it up with an ensnare, and they should be able to get this grab.
That was really close. I think if he bottled and then if he popped his regen and then used another tick after, he might have survived. I think it would have given him enough time for his range drop, but that was really close.
Yeah, had he been, I mean, it was only fortunate because he had happened to be already up on the side of the stairs. Had he been like halfway through the river even, would have been totally different gank. But
he felt especially safe because they had scanned to the bottom side, so he didn't think that the supports were going to gank him in the mid lane. But little did he know that EG have very good vision around the map, especially in the mid lane, and can tell whether or not the line is sitting behind, and they just got this movement headed towards there, so they don't really need to pressure anymore. And trying to bait out Sumail yet again.
Ooh, is not looking to get impaled. We'll double back, and Fly will quickly detect that there is going to be a ward on the high ground here, and will quickly be able to take it down. Ana with one more burst of damage will force Sumail to sip through his bottle and hope for the 6-minute ruin, but look who's there waiting for him. Jerix on the Elder Titan. They're guarding it about, looking to go for the stomp timing. It's a DD rune. No Tail commits in with the chrono, and Sumail really wants to get it, but could be losing his own life. There's going to be the coil, there's going to be the jaunt, and now he's looking to sidestep out. They trade 1-1 apiece. And now No Tail caught on the ensnare. They tack on top of it a lasso pullback, and with that takedown, turns to be a bit more promising for EG, taking down the Baseless Void, the sidelaner, along with the Elder Titan.
What a flame break from Universe. Bought enough time for the puck to survive through the Chronosphere, and he was able to drop 2 spells before he ended up dying. And that is totally worth for them. I'm very surprised he went for the rune. He knew the ET was there. He knew the Morphling was coming on down too.
Yeah, thank God everyone from the bottom lane shifted in so fast. In particular, yeah, Universe able to come at a moment's notice. Allowed EG to get the best of that trade, and suddenly they're taking the aggression right back. And we're seeing this Battle Rider get pretty swole now as he begins to inch ahead of even No Tail, his opposing laner. He is going to be building to a drums, it looks like, already.
All it took was just a little bit of help from the early game. It's also just a really weak lane. Faces Void plus Elder Titan.
Going for Sumail now. There's the Hex, there's the stun, waveform. Do they have the burst now that they're already there? Makes the jump over, and not going to be able to make it out. Zai's here now, and with a rotation in from Crit, they're going to get the disruption. Ana, though, gaining all that strength under the disruption is going to be fine. Makes it back to the fountain and makes it worth it for OG.
They don't have any vision anymore in that mid lane. It's so easy for the Landis to come up and hex him at least during nighttime. And the supports are playing very reactively too. They're able to actually just park themselves there because they want to get some more levels in XP, especially the Naglasaren, who was falling a tiny behind.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine there's some pressure on the Nog to try to get that level 6, that song online as fast as possible. Certainly when Chrono is going to be coming around the corner, I'd imagine. 18 seconds for that, and Universe has spotted out Jerix here. Looking to bump him back, only going to catch him on the side.
That had to be like a perfect flame break to get that kill.
Yeah. Has a bit of the move speed, but with that drums complete, can't get that extra burst of speed to be able to get the catch on that one.
I think it's still going to be really hard for them to kill Morphling. I think they're lucky to actually kill him one time. And they have just Waning Rift. They need much higher level Waning Rift or a much more farmed anti-mage if they want to be able to kill him. S4 caught out.
Yep, they're flanking him from both fronts here. He's going to be forced to dish out the crush, but the Void will be there to cancel out the TP. Now with the creep sitting there, not letting him pass. Oh no! He's going to be able to phase right through them and walk out the other side. Can he find the way out on the back of this sprint? Courier guiding, providing a bit of extra vision. And as he steps in, tried to maybe step for a juke over the blink, but not going to be able to make it away. Makes him sweat for it a bit. Back and below, we got a Chrono, it looks like, right on the Universe. Combo together with the Stomp with the Impale, and they're going to be trading off laners on both sides, Ben.
Yeah, and that's a level 6 Lion. They can, I think, get a... They can still play very aggressively on this bottom tower. They do have a Smoke and Flies inventory, should they choose to go for this. But Puck perhaps probably much more worthy kill for him. But Fly will get scouted out by the Observer Ward, and it's not going to be an easy kill on him. Unless he smokes, but he did smoke under the Observer Ward.
This ward right here. So Sumail
might be going a long way though, it seems.
Be privy to it, but yeah, Fly seems to be on quite the expedition here. And we'll take his business all the way up to the northern side. We'll tune back in him and see where his finger of death ends up. Imagine they're going to be put that to work in trying to delete someone on EG's side. It's just, I guess, how much value they find on either him, or maybe they're going to be looking for RTZ farming nearby.
If he's not in strength threat, he's vulnerable.
Well, we know RTZ, as efficient as possible, will be on those ad treads every time, unless he's blinking, of course. It's straight back in. Well, don't keep focused up there, and while most OG are kind of hanging out towards the top lane, we have the rest of the
walking into the Observer Ward.
Oh, he's been spotted. Flies right there. He blinked over it into S4. Fly's going to be there ready for him. Lead to the Hex, the Crush, the Finger.
That observer ward that they have on the dire side actually gave him a false sense of security, though. That's really what killed him right there. Because I'm pretty sure they saw the smoke. He might have like exited the area, or they might have like thought he just like exited the area of the ward and not actually like checked to make 100% sure that he smoked. But that was a very unusual move from Fly, very hard to predict even if you did see the smoke. He was very patient with his positioning there. But once he blinked in, he's just mega dead.
Yeah, that was a wonderful sitting play there by Fly. Now, at that same moment, they did get No Tail in the bottom lane too. So Faceless Void was traded for it. But obviously, bringing down the AM at any particular point in this game would be very, very beneficial to OG. But now at mid lane, try to go for the cheeky knives. Sumail will bounce back and out. OG take their tower, and now they scavenge. Ana going to be confidently strutting right through the EG woods here. And they're going to take their business all the way up to this top tier 1, which is already very low. This will open things up for OG in particular, and trying to invade the EG jungle and maybe disrupt the AM's farming path. This one will get denied. Jump in from No Tail. Legrona's only going to catch it first here. Arteezy might have to just bail it. They'll sack Universe, it looks like. Yeah, that's what I still have to pay for hanging around without having everybody.
And Zai seems more interested in farming up. He has Arcane Boots and Raindrops, so and Riptide as much as possible, as well as his Mirror Image. It's way more of a farming build with usually like Mirror Images if they want to scout. It's also decent for farming too. Occasionally you'll see in Snare there's something really nice to pair it up with, but this game, you know, they already have the Dream Coil. It's not that important to actually keep people in place this game. But this team is suffering in the meantime. They kind of have like 1.5 too many farmers at the moment.
Oh, bound below, it looks like they've been able to spot out Fly, and they'll take him down just fast. The stop will be there from Jarek's. Ana's going to be here now. Do they think they can burst down Zai? They're looking to go for it now. He's going to get off the split, dishes out the Ensnare, and Ana got a bit too far. Going to be forced to go into the Strength. Mana Void, not going to be enough. Coiled up now. There is going to be the latch. There's going to be the catch, and they're going to get it. Now they're looking for Jarek's 2. He will settle for the 2-man takedown. Walk away. That nearby No Tail still kind of up in arms, will be forced to walk out. And that was all for a committed dive onto Zai, which they will not get. Probably just OG not evaluating the situation well. Probably should have just sacked Zai, but I guess with a stuff like that, you can't help yourself.
They have good vision. EG has chosen to switch up the jungles. AM feels vulnerable in the top lane. So he's just gonna farm up most of the bottom. They need a lot of jungle too because they have the Bat Rider who doesn't have a blink yet, and the Ancient Mage who doesn't have Battle Fury yet. Once he has Battle Fury, maybe he can start working into the Ancients. But until then, they're gonna have to rely on the normal ones. But as for is closing in on his blink there, their time to farm might be cut shorter, or short, way more short than they expected.
Yeah, I also noticed from both offlaners, obviously, Universe had a wonderful start, was able to burst towards his drums, but has been kind of delayed since a bit, getting caught off a couple of times on move forward for the dagger, but he gets up a huge stack now, which puts him a bit closer. But as you were saying, as for next to have his, OG now having a heavy initiator that's not just going to be a Faceless Void with the Chrono will be very nice to have. Up and above here, Crit has spotted out Jarek's.
Oh, he did not mean to.
I don't think he's supposed to disrupt himself, but
yeah.
Unfortunately, Jarek will be able to look away from this.
I don't know if it would have been a kill even with Naga. And going in, perhaps with a Chronosphere.
Well, let's see if they can catch Arteezy. He is rushing back and away here. Universe is nearby, but now he's like, do I need to help Arteezy out? There is going to be a committed crush from F4, and a Chrono. Flame Break helps keep him back a bit, but yeah, with all that firepower, it is not going to be enough. Arteezy just going to get stalled up there as OG swarm around him. And again, a bit of the vision game. I mean, OG don't have great vision up to the northern side, but where they do is down here and below, and that's where EG's kind of left in the dark.
EG's left in the dark everywhere. They have one observer ward up, but there's a sentry sitting right on top of it in case like JRX or someone else wants to go take it out. They have vision in the mid lane too, but that's not really helping out the anti-mage who has perished twice thus far and is on track for a very late battle period. We're talking like 19 minutes, perhaps, maybe even longer at this rate.
So you have like a Naga and an AM who are just slowly grinding away here.
A lot of it is because Naga hasn't really done that much. Like Smail still died a couple times in the mid lane. He hasn't been able to save anyone with the sleep. He is very like relatively farmed though. He is getting there in terms of net worth, but I think it's come at a very great sacrifice to a team. However, they feel comfortable taking it late as long as Naga gets farm.
Yeah, so it feels almost conflicting. Like you're gonna have
smoked right under the ward.
OG.
Right under it. There's no way that they could have missed that one.
Well, let's see if they were paying attention. It looks like they were. They quickly huddle around their secret shop. They're waiting to see if OG do approach from the low ground. But already they are going to be scouting with Jarek Spirit, seeing if anyone's nearby. Pings are out. They might have got a brief glimpse of G prepped, and that could deter OG from moving forward, it looks like. They don't want to move in there.
They don't have vision. They can't just approach there. They can easily get sung upon or counter-initiated with like Lasso.
They sent Jerickson into the darkness, though.
Yeah, that's what happens when you try and approach that area without vision. And like they know that no one's farming out the top lane, and this is where EG, they definitely want to keep on farming this area. They need access to their ancients so that anti-mage can get up there in terms of net worth. They have to secure this area. It's very important for them. They can't really take a Roche right now. There's no Vlad's up, and like Puck's not the greatest Roche hero.
I feel like it would take them forever.
Yeah,
but
they can't do it right now. Maybe once AM gets Vlad can and they pick off 1 or 2 heroes. That's something that you do want to look into. It's just far more so, I think, the Ancients.
Well, now that Universe has Blink Dagger, you have that, you have Sumail with his own Blink, Veil, and Coil is just the two of them, and you know, with assistance from Zion, going to be for them to go out on their own little, you know, hitman jobs, or...
But they're also scared of the Blink Dagger on OG. Lion has one on the Radiant side as well. So it's now Slardar and Lion, the counterparts to EG own double Blink duo. Maybe triple Blink, I suppose, with Anti-Mage.
Well, EG have smoked. They're heading in towards this mid lane. Was not close to the OG ward, so they seem to be the wiser. Here's EG's approach. Sumail leading out in front. Now Universe, they're hoping for a peek. It might be back-to-back takedowns on Jarek, they'll have to settle for. There's the blink in, there's the pullback. They're going to hope Artesian can maybe get the last hit. It will be him. Good grab by that front. And EG will just take it for what's worth and move in and get the +1 and taking down the tier 1. Oh, nothing too juicy, just a poor little Elder Titan.
Oh, this is juicy. They're gonna form more camps now. Now it's much harder for OG to protect their own Ancients, and they don't even have a hero that can actually take out the Ancients themselves. So now Anti-Mage has, like, maybe 2 more camps to farm, the Ancient camp and the camp that Zai's farming right now with his Illusions. Like, it's kind of a big deal when you're playing the efficiency game. And EG, they had a more greedy lineup, and they're getting away with it. They're up ahead in kills, they're slightly ahead in terms of gold right now, and I think slowly but surely OG are feeling the gears getting turned, unless RTZ dies again.
Uh-oh, Fly been able to jump up and over here with the Blink Dagger, and they have plenty of lockdown awaiting. And without Zai nearby with a song to help bail him out, he is set to be doomed. And it could lead to a lot more destruction, but here's Sumail with the turnaround play, going to be committing it with a coil, self-destruction to help keep him alive. They're going to get the burst and finish off S4. Now they're looking for No Tail, stranded with no mana. He just gets quickly eaten up. Turns into an EG trade, 2 for 1, but they want more than that. Rushing on forward is going to be Sumail. There's the orb, there's the jump. Jarek going to the corner, gets off the angry stomp and even the earth splitter here, but he has nowhere else to run. He's going to be also taken care of. Now it's time for round 4 as Ana shows up the mid-boss here. And as he goes for a TP, there's going to be disruption. This is certain trouble for him if he can't make it away. The waveform puts some space out, but Sumail is not done yet. Eats the adaptive strike, gets the orb off, and makes it a double. What a doozy of a fight for EG. Couldn't have felt like that was one after the other for OG.
They didn't expect everyone to be sitting behind the Anti-Mage. They were pretty quick to respond. They didn't have to sleep. If the sleep out there in Chrono, oh my goodness, imagine how bad that fight would have been for OG. But they had to expend so much on the Anti-Mage. the Hex, the Impale, Time Walk, Chrono Finger.
That's a lot of hate. But as mentioned, you know, EG were kind of around, and that left OG with no more firepower to work with in the fight.
Yeah.
And Sumail just got to clean up.
They didn't have vision behind there though. Imagine like Shadow Demon could have been behind there too with a disruption.
Yeah.
Like, so many things could have gone wrong for them. I mean, they chose to take that risk though because of the position they're in. They know that Naga has been involved in fights, and they have to know she's going to get her.
You were just saying it, like the point, like the are grinding.
Yeah.
And, you know, they know that EG have come to this calming state of we've accepted that we will farm now, and AM and our Naga will beat your ass.
As soon as he gets the as soon as he gets the battlefield, you're worried if you're OG. You're like, oh, we killed him so many times in the early game. He's been careless, but
all right. Was it a bait and switch here, maybe? By OG, it looks like it could be, but Sumail is a fast little fish, as he's got the haste rune and will be able to just slither his way out from trouble. Convenient for him on that one.
Yeah, but if they had Finger, you know, they would have been able to kill him. It's just like all these small things add up where they just had to commit way too much onto RTZ. No Tail, maybe looking to go for a solo kill over here, but he has no one in sight, and if anyone TPs to the tower, that observer ward is going to scout him out. So that is going to be a very difficult kill for...
There is TPs. Suddenly troops are showing up and they're looking right towards Arteezy. They gotta know something's fishy, and they do. Arteezy flips away as the chrono comes in. Oh man, all wonderfully laid out. The obs ward that you were just staying in the lane gives him that bit of insight, and he probably had his finger on the blink, ready to go.
Yeah, he was ready. That was still a very good play by OG though. A very patient play from No Tail, going that, because that's what they need to do. It's very difficult to limit the Naga's farm at this point because her level 4 mirror image will just scout out ahead of her, and they only have so many smokes that they can use right now. So the better play is to kill the anti-mage, who's showing himself a lot more in the lanes, albeit he is a little bit more tanky than the Naga Siren. But as soon as the play goes south like that, you know you're in for a rough one.
Things beginning to feel a touch more frantic for OG. Not saying they don't look composed at all, but you feel they are definitely being a bit more assertive on trying to find pickoffs, find any way possible to try to turn this into their favor, because as time goes on, EG continue to crumble down these towers, they only become so much more powerful. I mean, yeah, they have the Morphling though.
Yeah, they have Morphling
with the late game, but I don't know, Morphling gets AM and the farm Naga.
That's a Lion.
That's a lot.
Don't forget about the Lion Mana Drain. He's maxing Mana Drain right now, so he can actually like destroy a lot of the farming tools that EG have for him. And then he can also replicate the Naga Siren in the fights too. And EG does not have a very easy way to get rid of the replicate, so that's a lot of damage. Like either the Anti-Mage with his level 3 mana break or Naga Siren with the Radiance. Either of those are going to add a lot of damage to the Morphling's kit.
Cake on top of that, a lasso, a chrono, and I guess technically at the end of the day, when a real fight can break out, it could be anyone's game.
Yeah, it's definitely not. It's a little grim just because Naga's really closing on to a Radiance, but it's by no means lost. Morphling can still carry.
I'm sure OG's initial game plan was not being put in a position where we're going to have to play that Naga game, that Radiance disgusting kind of Naga game.
Sumail with a nice catch out on Fly as he was trying to TP out.
Blocks him out inside the trees. And... okay.
He canceled his TP, so Lion's gonna have to sit there for probably a minute at this point.
So is it more that maybe Sumail knows and is just opting to leave him there for the time? Well, Fly to be stuck.
He knew that he was there, but I don't think he actually saw him TP.
So maybe
I'm not
dropped
sure.
the coil and didn't actually think he got Fly with it, I guess.
He dropped it behind him. He threw an orb to the south, and then he got a little bit of vision from the north, and then he coiled, and then he didn't have a way to get in there, and then just gave up the chase, it looks like.
All right, well, for Fly, he'll wait as 20 seconds before he can even use a TP, and just chill in the corner for now. So the rest of EG continue their rotational farm here. We got Universe picking up some new items. He's got the Blink, he's got the Force F good to go. We'll check out on the other side, we have No Tail, now has Diffusal.
He's the hero I'm most worried about in this game because his hero is just not well suited to deal with split push. He's not fast at pushing lane, especially with the defusal build. You really need like a Battle Fury or Maelstrom.
Yeah.
Mask of Madness is also pretty decent. I don't think you want to go it versus lineup, but it's still good at pushing out the lanes, and that's...
Oh, they got Ana! They pop the Lincolns, they cancel his TP, and they'll have the lasso ready for him. There's going to be the Mana Void, and there's Cheesy chopping away at the Waterman. Beautiful pick right there for EG, and they're not done yet. Fly shows himself in the jungle nearby. I thought that was going to be an approach by Zai, but that is a solid pick right there for EG. Morphling now not going to be feeling quite as safe. Split pushing in these side lanes. Universe shows he's got the capability of popping that Lincolns. Ooh, silence. Just shy of catching no tail there. So why do you think he went for the defusal then? Does it help purge off the silence of
What's more damage?
the rifts?
What other alternatives are there?
Oh, you were saying Maelstrom, capable things now to deal with the Naga.
Yeah, I think they're just relying on the Morphling to deal with the Naga, and he wants to be able to kill the supports and get as much damage during it. Manta Defuse is like also pretty decent for the later game too, getting more vision so that he can actually get good Chronospheres off in the fight. But yeah, in terms of just raw split pushing potential and pushing out the lanes versus this, I think that OG are heavily underhanded. They have the Midas on Slardar, so you know, ready for a 50, 60-minute game if it gets to that point, if they survive that long.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Let's touch base with the mighty Zaire and his Naga. Certainly Radiance in hand now. So, lots of the farm now belongs to him. But we have an OG smoke movement here.
And a
smoke from EG, yeah, at the same moment. They rotate down. OG's actually potentially could creep in from behind. This is very awkward. A total wraparound of each other. And now they totally swap sides. S4 moves in, sees RTZ, jumping in those universe, gets the snag on S4, pulls him back out. Still stomped up, it's going to be RTZ, now caught in the chrono at the tip of it. Earth Splitter, but Disruption's also there on top of it, helping save RTZ, pulls him out. They're going to have the song now to help reset the fight. To get it on OG side, they're going to drop down the coil, they're looking to go for Ana, they surround him now, he's got no more mana to work. Can't make it away, he's going to be dropped. EG's fight now as they move on forward. No tail, desperate to make it out. Gets off the time walk, gets his life back, but the chase is on. Smell has a double, and he wants to make it a triple. Diffuse is there, but no tail again has to time walk back to safety. Makes it inside his home base, but EG lose nobody, while OG drop 3. This will lead to a tier 2, and EG. The game certainly feels like it is going their way. High ground territory could be approaching soon. New options to fall back for the Roche. The world is theirs.
A couple of things though. Anti-Mage did not actually go for the Manta after the Battle Fury. He went for a Lincoln Spear, which is very good for a few things. Slardar actually has a very difficult time bursting down an agility hero that doesn't have amp on him. It's also very good against a Morphling. Usually Morphling, anytime they see an Anti-Mage, they throw Replicate up to up their farm lot and to up their damage if any heroes choose to contest. It's also very good versus the Lion, who can't really get an instant Hex off on Anti-Mage if he has the Lincoln Spear. And that time EG were prepared. They used 2 defensive abilities onto the Anti-Mage, Disruption and the Song of Siren. Yeah, they overlapped, but at least they finally cut it off on him, and that was a super easy fight for them.
Sumail was on patrol duty. Cross pass with S4 and is able to avoid being quickly crushed. And with that bit of knowledge, GG have pulled out from the pit, leaving Roche only a little bit scratched up.
Their heroes are just ill-suited for this type of game, though. Slardar is not good at this sort of slow-paced, farm-oriented vision game that EG are playing at the moment. And like he's going to have enough trouble in the fights, like catching a Puck who has phase shift, and then you have to like blink when you're constantly getting scouted out by Radiance. Try to get a kill on our. Oh,
that was nicely done. But okay, that was also a nice chrono as Arteezy, confident as ever, pushing on top lane, will pay the price. It takes 4 OG members to stop him here, but they are going to be able to at least get the grab on the fly. It looks like a small response play, so props man to dodge, but
nice from no-tail too. A lot of players have been worried about just whipping the Chrono at that point, but he knows they have to kill AM over and over again. He's by far their net worth leader on the side of AG, and they can regain a lot of the gold by killing him over and over again.
Looks like they see no-tail now, though. He's going to be able to time walk out, gets off the time dilation, but already so much work being done, and with that purge too, he has no options. And without a chrono, can't really do much about it. Song now, gonna get blasted out as they spotted S4, but
They also see Ana.
they see Ana back and behind. And that is gonna be enough for EG to just totally withdraw. They are gonna be happy with their winnings. And it does come on the back of losing their AM, but
They don't need to take risks. They don't need to lose a gem on Naga Siren. They don't need to give up Roche due to ill fights for them. Like, there's a lot of things that could go wrong. They just need to play it safe, take down Roche, keep getting pickoffs.
oh, they make the jump for Sumail, but that is when Universe shows up. Derek's was trying to assist on that one, but they quick ran on his parade. The pursuit continues here. Sumail even committing the coil now. Blast to turn around with the stun. Stomp is there. A force, adaptive strike. Oh, right with the timing to avoid the wave. And now we'll quickly jump out to safety. Sumail, man, is...
They keep pinging out on the Slaughter. They pinged out on Slaughter right before. They're like, Slaughter's up here. They're fighting 3v4 at the moment, potentially 5 because anti-mage respawn was very, very quick. And Puck with an Arcane Rune is just near impossible to kill if you don't get a Hex on him.
He is just pushing the hero to the limits at that point. Dancing around OG, enticing him. And maybe even just kind of getting in their heads a bit. But it's helped get EG to this solid spot. I gotta say, I mean, it felt like Zai's had his radiance for a while, but his farm isn't going up as fast as I was expecting. Does he not have too many options as far as where to farm because you got AM on your team?
That is exactly it.
Yeah.
He's a creep hog.
So he's unfortunately second string in the farm department, but...
Yeah. It's not only that AM's a creep hog, Arteezy's a creep hog.
That's true. Max efficiency from jungle to lane to jungle to lane. Pretty much leaving nothing behind.
Leave no creep unkilled.
But OG now, still the onus is on them. They've been plateaued out at about 15k of a net worth disadvantage for about the past 10 minutes, so no progression really being made by either side. But if that's the case, EG going to be the higher team, I'd imagine. So, in their content position, they'll still continue to hang about. Still have also an awkward team to even do the Roche, so you kind of have to hope all your ducks are really in a row before you can even commit and doing the Aegis. I don't know if that means getting a pick off and just having an advantage in numbers, or...
No, I think they're strong enough to do it like very, very soon. They do need to deward a little bit more with Zai on the Naga with the gem. There's still one ward around the map, but he's trying to deward and just, you know, make OG blow a few smokes in vain and then go for the Roche. Just play it safe. Because if he dies early on in the fight, and then they don't have Song available to them during the Chronosphere, they could still fight. Morphling is not a laughing matter.
Not on as Morphling. He's definitely flexed his Morphling muscles quite a bit in this tournament already, so... We'll have to see if he's going to be able to do it once again here, but EG have decided to make the commitment. They're inside the pit. They want to get an extra life. And OG gonna really have no say in the matter at all, it looks like. They'll just kind of stick with their side of the map and continue to grind out what farm is there. As for has an over club right now, look kind of get himself into a BKB, I'd imagine. But trouble coming soon. And you're now going to be dealing with the Arteezy AM with an extra life. It's the AM game, Ben.
Yeah, they're trying to get BKB so they can man fight him, though. BKB already on the, I believe, on the Void. Yeah, he's getting on the chicken right now. Still, it's a very fight, despite having BKBs. Demonic Urge, Sleep Isolation.
Yeah.
Batrider also, there's a lot of ways they can deal with it. Eventual Puck with the Scepter. He has Dagon. Dagon's actually really good against BKB because it forces you to pop your BKB way earlier than you want to. A lot of the time. And it's not like you can't ever miss your Dagon on a BKB target too. You just can't target it with a BKB. So yeah. it's surprisingly good despite you generally think, oh, Dagon's useless versus BKB. It's actually very, very good.
And for Sumail and how he is as a player, he could jump in your face and force you to trigger out the BKB when really he's just probably going to jump back.
You scan it, hit onto S4, and they're going to try to sweep that area, but without any vision, doesn't look like it's going to yield a kill.
They do see him now in the mid lane, and they continue to go down that road. They're trying to cut him off on the way out, but S4 might have gotten that wave and already looking to get back. Very cautious play by S4 here.
Crit actually has to stay close to the Naga illusions. They're letting a lot of wards survive because they're up on cliffs where the Naga can't actually scout.
Well,
not a big deal. They have a lot of wiggle room. They just sitting with this huge net worth deficit or advantage.
Yeah, they're finally finding themselves well past the river and closer to the front door here of OG. OG just kind of getting ready and prepared, pushing out the waves little by little. S4 is still kind of on that split push duty, but obviously we'll eventually have to get back as EG closes in on the final outer tower, this top tier 2. And then it's time to ascend into the high ground, and we'll have to see what OG are really going to be made of. If there hasn't been already enough pressure onto No-Tail in this game, these chronos really need to count.
His chronos aren't really gonna matter too much though, like because he has to get the Naga started, and if he doesn't, then they just sleep. And I don't know who he gets. You can't get anti-mate. I mean, you can get anti-mate, but you're not gonna kill him.
You can Shadow Demon, Disruption Wave on the outside. I mean, as long as EG are just gonna play it with half a brain, you know, they'll be totally spread.
Puck's ideal, I think. Puck's your ideal target to get, but then you still have to control the Shadow Demon or pop your BK early so that the Naga Siren can't sleep you.
Not seeing OG though do the whole smoke and let's go out. Oh, I may change something. Here they go. They smoke and they're looking to go out, Ben. Let's see if they're going to be blessed with an opportunity to get the upset on EG. They are rushing their way.
They would love to get the gem right now.
But as you can see, they are not going to get the scan. And they will quickly realize there is nobody here. The EG are on the other side of the Dota globe, hanging down here south, and getting ready to make an approach into the bottom lane. So unfortunately, a lost cause there for OG, as they will end up having to get back into the base soon enough.
They still set up wards on the top side of the map. They can do what they just did before and have the Face Voice sit in the trees, have the Slar sit in the trees, have a Replica close by, have Lion hanging around so they can pick if they have these this bid on the top lane. So it's not all in vain.
Here comes EG now, bottom lane. Starting to force some OG back into the high ground. Let's see what they can do to hold it about. Oh, they still leave Ana in the top lane. Pushing it in slowly, and that's going to be Arteezy's call to go in. Okay, he's got the Aegis. He can afford to be the one to siege and lose that life. Just as fast as he's stunned, Crit's going to get off the disruption, and now we have AM Illusions going to work. Tier 3 is going to be down. The first base work done by EG in our lower bracket final. There's going to be the pullback on Universe, and they're going to commit in the Chrono, looking to burst down the bat, and they will be able to do it quickly. The bat's going to be taken care of while Arteezy's looking to commit in quick. Could lose his Aegis in there. It's going to be dropped. OG, actually a pretty good formation, but that's where Zai says, hold on a second, we'll slow your roll. Puts out the song, and now they look to commit for No-Tail here possibly. He gets the time walk off, not stunned from Fly. Quick burst forward from Ana. Going to be taking out Sumail. Arteezy though, big hit with the Mana Void, not going to be able to get the finish, and suddenly it's EG looking to pull out. Can they make it away? The focus is going to be on Arteezy. They pop out his Lincolns, they wave him in, and now the right clicks continue. They got the Finger of Death, and they got the grab. OG hold the bottom lane as they take out 4. Can they stop Zai? No. But my goodness, all for a tier 3.
The sleep was actually in vain too. It's so difficult to time that with. I think they needed. They wanted the waning rift onto the Faceless Void to be able to kill him right after sleep, but that's such a difficult thing to set up for, just because the cast point on the Time Walk is just so low, and even then he can just Diffusal Blade it off and Time Walk away. But that's what they were aiming for, and without that very precise timing on that, they suffered a lot of casualties.
And that gives OG a good little chunk of change to work with in the net worth, and obviously will boost up their confidence quite a bit, but I don't know how much to really be able to benefit from it as far as being able to progress.
Now, Morphling got a lot out of that fight. It was maybe like not as low as 2/3 as Anti-Mage, but almost there. And now he's actually like closing in pretty closely to the Anti-Mage, and Anti-Mage has been dead for so long. He's missing out on so many creeps on the map right now.
Well, that's where you have Zai, so I guess Zai will be there to kind of suck up all the remaining farm finally. He's like, oh, finally I can utilize my full spread of Naga. And suddenly he has an Octarine core.
Naga's not going to be the one breaching high ground though. She can't hit towers. It has to be the anti-mage that hits towers, and even despite him going a very defensive build with the Lincolns after the Yasha in the Battle Fury, he's still dying in these fights, which does not bode well for 45 plus minutes in game.
There is something to say though, at least he will be able to use these illusions and just spreading out OG across their base. Could have been a bit of an interesting
That's what Lion's
position
for, though. Lion's been doing a really good job of just instantly killing those illusions that dare touch his T3s. So EG can't use the normal tactics of trying to assault the base. They have to actually win a fight. I suppose they could actually use the Naga Sleep too. The Naga Sleep is very good at sieging the base too. If they're all defending one lane, you can just like BOT with like anti-mage or something at the top, sleep all down on bottom and get like, you know, maybe 30 to 50% of the tower down during the duration of the sleep.
Yeah, that feels like a plan C kind of a thing. Almost,
I mean,
for EG.
it's safe though, right?
Yeah, I mean, you get a win, you get a win, and if they have to fall back on something like that sooner than later, you know, I certainly wouldn't blame them. But
that's what they've been doing this game though. They've been playing it safe. They only push with the Aegis. They build defensive items. You know, they get a gem. They wait to deward. Like they overlap cooldowns, but they want to make sure that someone survives instead of being very greedy with their cooldowns. Safety is the name of the game. The safety dance.
I mean, would you say they played that bomb lane push though pretty safe? Like when they tried to close
sleep
it out?
was not. The sleep initiative. They could have just left and run away, I think, but. Still, like, timing of the push was very safe. Wait till anti-mage gets his Aegis. It was a good timing for them. The gold lead was very significant.
Any value in the Sam picking up something like a butterfly or even the Naga at this point? It's not typical we see the MKB grab on a Morphling here. Or even No Tail.
It's tough. Butterfly is okay, but all the agility is going to be taken away, or all the armor is going to be taken away by the Elder Titan. So generally, if you're actually scared about dying, you'd go for a heart against the ET, not the... Or AC. AC is also very common versus a Morphling instead. I actually don't recommend Butterfly for him here.
There's actually no one else though who could even step in for an AC or any sort of extra armor for the team, so...
Yeah, I think
guess
AC is very nice. Like, Amp plus Natural Order is devastating.
Oh yeah, I mean, Natural Order plus any agility carry can be pretty damn ridiculous. Oh,
Chicken!
See the courier. And see another fish. It's going to be S4. Move with the lasso and then the day. That leads to quick destruction. S4 does have a buyback. They even managed to swing and take down the courier on the way out too. Oh man. And that was sporting a good amount of money. 3.5k. I actually don't know what the new hotkey is to look at the courier, unfortunately. But that is unfortunate for OG. Going to be crippled a little bit on that one as they have to wait out to get the new items.
Yeah.
5k for Arteezy and whatever he decides to make a plunge for.
Yeah, I'm not sure. AC's like, if you get replicated, it's not going to be that great for him. But AC does help a lot with the hack and siege. Heart or AC would be my choice. Actually, I don't know. He might need more damage too, because Naga actually doesn't do that much damage in the team fights. She's just a slow and steady burn. What damage out of they go? Butterfly is okay, I guess. It's a nice medium ground, but the agility is not that useful. And then you can go MKB, but there's not actually a source of evasion outside of OG at this very moment. And then Crystallis is just not something that you usually build on anti-mage. He went for AC.
That's good. Now you have a way to supplement all the armor that this Natural Order takes away.
Yeah.
And when you don't have anyone else to help fill that void, I guess it makes the decision a bit more clear-cut for the AM. So he will opt in for that one and go right to work into the Roche.
It's still a really tough call though. Like he's dying a lot, but also if he could kill people faster, like if he could kill people in an abyssal lockdown, then he might not need the defensive item. But he's already committed to defense with the Lincoln Sphere, so I'm not terribly surprised to see him go with the AC. But he's bootless at the moment. I think this is the time that EG actually need to be able to break melee racks.
Who's our best target to go for the lasso? I mean, without AM committing it for another damage kind of item, would you be confident? Would you be confident in their burst? Because I don't think they'd be able to burst down this Morphling.
Oh, no. Morphling's not their target. Because if you go into Morphling, you have to blink, you have to force stab him, and he doesn't have to pop BKB, and he has to not pop BKB. Even if he does get lassoed in that sequence of events, he can still morph. So, like, Morphling is, like, your least likely target, unless it's closer to tail end of the fight. But to start out the fight, no way. Elder Titan, Slardar, pretty much anybody, aside from the Morphling, is a good jump.
How's No Tail's life, then? I mean, he's got 2.3k, might be enough to survive and get a time walk off with Arteezy's damage output, but we'll have to see if everyone else behind EG will be able to bring it out or not. Tier 3 already down, EG giving it a second try and taking down these racks. OG were able to pull out a solid hold the last time, but really have not been able to progress in the game objectively since then. So here they are stuck in the same position, going against EG, and they have the extra life.
They still can't even push out multiple lanes at once because if Naga sends Illusion to another lane, the Morphling will just take him down with a Replicate of its own.
Yeah, Replicate or Lion dealing with it.
Yeah.
This is a good anti-Naga performance coming in from OG. And their other options are Arteezy here, who's moving in, taking some shots, on a jumping over both sides of him. No Tail, pump fakes. Doesn't commit him with the Chrono yet. Maybe to see if he can bait out anything from EG, but they are not quick to bite. Very high tension moment from both teams, though.
Firefly's not down, though. This is going to be a tough season. They might have to wait until Firefly's up.
Hit in from Arteezy. Lincoln's pop from both sides. There's going to be the Ball of Crush. OG thinking about a commitment. Will force out the disruption. Is the Chrono going to be there? Help this time dilation. There's going to be the blink back. Ana will step in with the adaptive strike, but they will not pursue any further. It's hard to juggle in the balance between committing so much on the A-team mage, knowing that it still has that Aegis. But they hit him hard enough to force EG back and not allow him to get any sort of finish on any sort of racks.
They need a Vlad on our team too, so he can actually sustain himself. One of the downsides of going for the AC is that you don't have an heart in your inventory, and like the Morphling just wails away at him as he's trying to break the base. He has no way to regenerate all that HP when they're out of urn charges from the Shadow Demon. And you don't want to go into a fight at 50% HP.
They're looking to punish Jerix, pushing out this top lane. Commitment in from Sumail, gets the coil, but with that Eul's, they do not want to overstay. And they quickly pull out. Oh, Sumail, quick back reaction with that Eul's. And he'll be able to step back. Whew. Almost both sides getting caught out here. Arteezy, as he goes in, Fly jumps out.
He's going to start beating on the tower on bottom lane, though, because he knows that all of them are top. But he needs the creeps to come in, though. So that's some free damage on the T3, or even the Rex.
Ooh. He gets 2 shots in. Pulls away, so we have about 40 minutes ahead of us if this will be the rate, but I imagine EG just, as you can tell, looking and whittling in any openings to siege into the base when possible.
They're not using the Naga sleep well to siege, though. I guess maybe they wanted to wait till he's level 16. He is level 16 now, but I think there could be a lot more shenanigans pulled. Especially because you have Octarine. It's only a 45-second cooldown right now.
Yeah.
It's like once every 1.5 creep
every
waves.
time they make an approach, really. Every fight.
I think they could be utilizing that a lot more to get some cheesy yet free damage on the towers.
EG will assault from all fronts, it looks like here. They have Arteezy working in the top lane. Universe and Crit were working down the mid a bit, and of course that left Sumail Company here at the bottom. So this will force OG a bit all over the place as they deal with the top lane. The bottom lane's coming in, and they have a couple of measures in dealing with the Naga illusions, but they don't have too many ways to just take down creeps very fast. Ana can waveform through them, but without these maelstroms and all these other items, it's gonna be hard. As OG are gonna be losing that Rax. Eventually Arteezy's able to creep in, and they suddenly have a range Rax down. It's our first Rax of our first game of this series, but
it's just a range Rex, though. The melee Rex, look at its HP and look at those 2 sieges beating on it.
OG need to do something about it, but they're like, it's a bit far.
Aegis is about to expire. They can't take this risk. But RTC already had to drop his boost for the Aegis, so there's not too much left in his lifeline for farming.
So an Aegis for range tracks, and a lot more farm. And speaking of butterflies here, Arlen gets one himself. No MKB at the moment for this AM or for Zai's Naga, so this Morphling going to be a bit tougher in the head-to-head.
And really heavy shotguns.
Oh yeah, well, agility is the name of the game when you're Morphling after all, so that gun just got that much bigger.
Triple barreled shotgun.
Triple barreled shotgun, is that a thing? I don't know, I have not seen that on the Antique Roadshow.
That is his firepower at this moment though.
It's like a bazooka.
With natural order too.
Yeah.
Yum yum.
So, Crit and company probably going to be hanging pretty far back. As right now he's able to pop in and get the Lincolns off. Do not want to be in the crosshairs of this Morphling.
Time to cheese!
Time to cheese.
Say cheese!
We are going to grime our way into this base, says AG. And just wither them away. Starve them out.
They don't want to waste all the time that they've expended on this melee wreck, so it's at like half HP. They don't want it to regen all the way up, because then they're back to square 1.5.
Oh, you got a butterfly? I got a butterfly. Zai takes one himself. Suddenly the Naga is also showing off some seriously hard-hitting items. 27k for Zai, 29k for Ana, and 34k for Zai's anti-mage. A very wealthy game. Uh-oh, S4 gets the jump onto Crit.
They smoked for that though.
Ouch. Yeah, so more of a smoke buster. Crit's going to be able to tank the gank on that, and OG heads right back into their base. Just as they adventure out in the bottom lane, Arteezy's there at the top lane,
Radiant's top tower is
scratching at the post a bit. It's like ants outside the front door, just don't let them inside. Oh, jumped in lasso play here, pull back. They get the dig in the universe. Very low, but the song is going to be coming up from Zai. Allows them to make the escape. Oh, S4 tried to pop a BKB and crush and cancel it, but that's not going to be happening. Again, Arteezy in that top lane, ratting away. He's going to be able to get to tier 3. Now looks to man up against Ana, and oh! Okay. Annihilates, evaporates the Morphling out of the game. For 86 seconds, no buyback, as Arteezy just closed this one out for EG. Could be the case. So OG have to get themselves back inside, popped under their pipe. Here comes EG now, looking to breach.
It's so hard to not make mistakes when you're under this sort of split push pressure constantly. Naga illusions in one lane, anti-age illusions in another lane, and then all 5 heroes in one other lane, and then
this is
you have a
not
good fight.
You don't prepare for these kind of games in scrims, I imagine. You don't come across them very often.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
An
Hour deep Naga AM games. And now we have Arteezy knocking away here. But bottom, look at this Sumail cutting off No Tail, not allowing him to get up there. That Chrono, he's going to be forced to commit it here onto Sumail. Right clicks him down quite a bit, but is not going to have the damage and going to have to let that one go, which means they have to let the whole top lane go at this rate. Jerix helps out a bit with the stomp, but then Zai's going to be there with the song shortly after. And now
Dude,
OG.
that's the sleep shenanigans.
Radiant's top
You
tower
sleep, you run towards their ancient, and then you bounce while anti-mage takes down a tower.
They get the top set. Now Arteezy looking to go on mid. Sumail jumps the back line and quickly annihilates and takes out Fly. He has no buyback, and it looks like this will quickly be the game. That's going to be the Mana Void to execute No Tail. No Tail's going to be forced to buy back now, and as we all know, he does not have a Chrono to work with. They have no more racks to stand. That's going to be game number 1. EG take it. It was a bit of a very timid, intense
It's a nice and safe
25 minutes at the end.
That they are just not prone to throwing at all. It's just their style. I think there were some really clutch disruptions there at the end too from Crit. All it took was a couple of good ones, and a couple of good ones they got. And very nice split push pressure coming out from EG as they assaulted all 3 of the lanes, and even the line couldn't